Christ, His Son, give thanks with a grateful heart, give thanks to the Holy One, give thanks because He's given Jesus Christ, His Son. And now let the weak say, I am strong. Let the poor say, I am rich, because of what the Lord has done for us. And now let the weak say, I am strong. Let the poor say, I am rich, because of what the Lord has done for us. Give thanks.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
2025 Vivid Conference for the project with contract ID 25BA0030, 25BA0032, 25BA0034, 25BA0035, and 25BA0041. These are under CI. Riyadh. So, for our attendance, the school secretariat.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Procurement Unit headed by Engineer Prospery R. Kahayan, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Deeds and Awards Committee. Our BAC Chairperson, Engineer Rinaldo B. Palima. Our BAC Vice Chairperson, Engineer Marietta A. Castro.
And
Our BAC members, Engineer Lucy D. Villar.
present.
Engineer Noel M. Acobe.
Present.
Head of Technical Working Group, Engineer Donabel W. PBS watching us online. Technical Working Group TWG member, Engineer Edison C. Core Jr. BAC Secretariat members, Danny S. Rubis, Sir Ryan of Studio, Engineer Janet Pigoni, and yours truly, Shirley Estero. That's all for the attendance, Mr. Chair.
With the majority of the BAC members present, I declare quorum. Now, let us proceed to the private conference proper. May I request the head of the procurement unit to read to us the details of this project and its housework.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning. BAC members, DPWH Secretariat. Today, for our first project is 25BA0030. The title is Construction of Multipurpose Building, Barangay Agusan del Norte. The approved budget for the contract is 6,930,000 pesos. The duration is 24 days with a bidding fee of applicable fee of 10,000 pesos. The source of funds is under the 2025 under CI. For the major category of work, we have BICW PLC with similar categories of works, BICW PLC CP, BICW PLC CP, BICW PLC DP, BICW PLC DP, BICW PHC, BIL, BIM. For the minimum requirements as to pick up license, the category is C and D, size range of small b, so the singular just project completed is dispensed for its particular product. For the bid security form, it can be a bid security declaration of BSD, or if it is a cash, check, draft guarantees, or a revocable letter of credit, the amount should be less than 2% of the ABC or equivalent to 138,600 pesos. For surety bond, the amount should not be less than 5% of the ABC or 246,500 pesos. For the key personal requirements, project manager, a DPWH licensed accredited project engineer, construction foreman, safety officer, first aider, and materials engineer. For the minimum major equipment required for this contract exclusively will be 1 unit of the following: blade compactor with 5 horsepower, 1 bagger mixer with 4 to 6 cubic feet per minute, bark cutter, barrel bender, 2 units of welding machine with capacity 500 amperes, cutting outfit, truck mounted frame, from 20 to 25 kilotons, jackhammer, and a minimum material testing equipment of 1 set. For the bill of quantities, you have facilities for the engineer, provision of field office for the engineer on rental basis, good for 7 months. Permits and clearances, lump sum, branch billboard and signboards, 2 units. Occupational safety and health, lump sum, so with mobilization and demobilization. Under civil, mechanical, electrical, and sanitary planning works, earthworks, removal of structural obstruction, lump sum, structure excavation, common soil of 135.91 cubic meters. Embankment from roadways and structural excavation, common soil is 97.63 cubic meters. For embankment from borough, common soil is 11.18 cubic meters. For gravel fill is 9.91 cubic meters. Under plain and reinforced concrete works, structural concrete 4,000 psi with 25.17 cubic meters. Structural concrete class A with 19.22 cubic meters under item 901I. For reinforcing steel deformed grade 40 is 5,319.27 kilograms. For formworks and falseworks is still 57.13 square meters. Under finishing works, you have a non-load bearing CSB, including reinforced steel, 100 meter thick, 301.38 square meters. For steel doors and frames is lump sum. For aluminum glass windows, awning type is 0.72 square meters. For PVC doors and frames is 2 sets. Fence cyclone welded wire is 61.11 square meters. For ceiling, made up of 4.5 mm metal frame fibers and board, 9.06 square meters. Lump sum for floor finishes, cement plaster finish is 541.31 square meters, while reflective insulation is 9.06 square meters. For painting works, masonry concrete is 964.99 square meters. For painting works of steel, 511.91 square meters. For pre-painted metal sheets, rib type, long span about 24 to 7 millimeter is 500.95 square meters. For fabricated metal working accessory, flashing, gauge 26 or 0.551 millimeters is 39.08 square meters. For fabricated metal working accessory, gutter, gauge 24 or 0.701 millimeter is 51.20 linear meters. For metal structures, 3,703.55 kilograms. For bolts and rods is 19.76 kilograms. For sag rods is 99.90 kilograms. For cross bracing, 143.70 kilograms. For steel plate, 169.60 kilograms. For correlate structural steel is 3,328.20 kilograms. Under plumbing, sanitary works, that's basin made up of CHP is 10 each. Sewer line works, lump sum. So with stone drains and downspout, cold water lines, plumbing fixtures, and 1 unit of septic valve. For electrical, we have conduits, boxes and fittings, rough ends, lump sum, wires and wiring devices, lump sum, panel board with main and branch breakers, lump sum, and lighting fixtures, a lump sum. For the second contract ID, 20 of NA 0032, the title is Construction of Multipurpose Building Aqua Lagoon, Barangay Poblacion 2, Tubay, Agusan del Norte. This has approved budget of 16,255,000 pesos. The duration is to the 10 calendar days with an applicable bidding fee of 25,000 pesos. The source of funds is the 25 should be released. With the major categories of work, BICW PLC, and the general categories of works as reflected in the screen, BICW PHCCP, PLCCP, PHCDP, PLCDP, WOPHC, BIL, BIH, and BIF. For the requirement as to the pickup license is category C and B, the size range of small b, plus the single largest project completed is dispensed for this contract. The acceptable feasibility form can be a PSD or 2% of the ABC if it's cash, check, back draft, practice, or revocable letter of credit, or 5%, not less than 5% of the ABC if it is in the surety bond. The key personal requirements: project manager 2, accredited DPWH project engineer 2, construction foreman, safety officer, first aider, and rest engineers. For the major equipment required for this contract: 1 unit of plate compactor, 1 gagger mixer, bar cutter, bar blender, cutting outfit, and truck mounted crane, and 2 units of welding machine. Finally, minimum material testing equipment of 1 set. For the facilities for the engineer, a rental basis of provision of field office, good for 7 months, lump sum for permits and clearances, billboard and signboard, occupational safety and health, mobilization, demobilization, and 2 units of project import and signboard. For the civil, mechanical, electrical, other plumbing works, we have for earthworks, structure excavation, common soil, 168.02 cubic meters. For embankment for a roadway, structure excavation, common soil, 125 cubic meters. Embankment for a barrow, common soil is 5,197.50 cubic meters, and 30.78 cubic meters for gravel field. For the underplate and reinforced concrete works, for structural concrete for the PSI, item 901D is 111.10 cubic meters. For structural concrete class A, under item 901I is 75.47 cubic meters. For reinforcing steel before grade 4B is 10,659.11 kilograms, while for force works and formworks as 319.62 square meters. Under finishing works, non-load bearing 100 mm thick CSB, including reinforcing steel, is 256.52 square meters. Lump sum for finishing hardware Aluminum glass doors with type is 12.60 square meters. Awning type is 2.88 square meters, while fixed type aluminum glass window is 73.27 square meters. 7 sets of frames for jam, seal, head, transoms, and mullions. Wood panel door is 7.14 square meters. PVC door and frames, 6 sets. Railing is Lapsan, while 4.5 mm metal frame fiber cement board ceiling is 376.95 square meters. For glazed tiles and frames is 237 square meters. For unglazed tiles, 140.23 square meters. For cement plaster finish with floor hardener is 75 square meters. For cement plaster finish, 660.89 square meters. For effective insulation, is 347.28 square meters. For simulated red bricks is 14.85 square meters.
Time is 10 o'clock a.m.
640.56 square meters. For painting works of masonry or concrete is 612.02 square meters. For steel surface, painting works of 712.95 square meters. For pre-painted metal sheets, type long span of 0.47 millimeters is 382.69 square meters. For fabricated metal roofing accessory, cashing gates 26 is 24.85 millimeters, while for gutter gates 24 is 24.85 millimeters. For metal structures, is 3,964.28 kilograms. For turnbuckle is 16 each. For bolts and rods is 23.71 kilograms. For subrods is 131.71 kilograms. For cross bracing, 95.96 kilograms. For steel plate, 23.52 kilograms. For purlins, structural steel, of 4,334.40 kilograms. Under plumbing, catch basin with a CHD is 5 each. Sewer line works is a lump sum. So with store drains and downspout, septic tank, cold water lines, plumbing, wood fixtures. Under electrical, lump sum for all of the following: conduit, boxes and fittings, rack-in, wires and wiring devices, panel board with main branch breakers, pole-mounted power transformer with complete accessory, single or three-phase tool type or uplot board. Lighting fixtures and CCTV system. Under mechanical, lump sum of the following: air conditioning system, split tank, and fire alarm system. The third, contract ID, 25-0034, re-advertised for rehabilitation of multi-purpose building at Nasipit Farmers, Nasipit Agusan del Norte. ABC of 4,950,000 pesos, a duration of 90 calendar days, and applicable bidding fee of 5,000. Source of fund is still GAB 2025 CI. For the scope of works, similar to the previous contracts, BICW or PLC with similar categories of works as mentioned. Well, for the requirement as to the pickup license, category minimum is C&D, size range of small b. So the single largest project completed is dispensed for this contract. For the acceptable bid security form, it can be a BSD or bid security declaration or amount of not less than 2% of the ABC, if it is in cash, check, bank draft, guarantees, or revocable letter of credit, or not less than 5% of the ABC if it is in surety bond. The key Personal requirement, project manager, DPWH accredited project engineer, construction foreman, safety officer, first aider, and DPWH accredited materials engineer. For the minimum major equipment required, exclusively for this contract, the meaning of the following: car hose service truck, plate compactor, backhoe, bar cutter, bar bender, and 2 units of dump trucks. Included is the minimum material testing equipment of 1 set. For the bill of quantities, on that basis, provision of take office for the engineer for 3 months. Project billboard, signboard, 2 each, 1 unit of lump sum for each of the following: occupational safety and health, mobilization and demobilization. Under removal structures and obstruction is a lump sum. For structural excavation, common soil, 7.69 cubic meters. Embankment from barrow, common soil is 62.21 cubic meters. For gravel fill is 17.09 cubic meters. For plain reinforced concrete works, structural concrete class A, 18.63 cubic meters. Forcing steel, deformed grade 40 is 50.46 kilograms. For formworks and postworks is 52.20 square meters. For the finishing works, fix is below non-load bearing, including reinforcing steel 95.07, lump sum for steel doors and frames. For a swing type aluminum frame glass door is 4.2 square meters. For a ceiling, made up of 4.5 millimeter metal frame, 5% door, so 209.14 square meters. For ceiling, metal frame pre-painted metal panel is 39.08 square meters. Wall, made up of 6 metal frame, fiber cement board is 67.86 square meters. For unglazed tiles is 418.20 square meters. For metal structure accessories, steel paste is 135.65 kilograms. For painting works, masonry works, for masonry and concrete is 1,553.02 square meters. For conduits, boxes, and fittings, roughly lump sum. For panel board with main branch breakers, lump sum. For wires and wiring devices, lump sum. For lighting fixtures, lump sum. And for mechanical air conditioning system, package split type of lump sum. For the fourth contract, 25-035 be advertised, is construction of multi-purpose building in Barangay, Poblacion, Santiago, Agusan del Norte, with an approved budget for the amount of 39,600,000 pesos. A duration of 140 calendar days, applicable bidding fee of 25,000. The source of funds is the 2025 with the corporation already released. The scope of work of this contract is the ICW PLC with similar categories of works reflected with those mentioned as 3 contracts. For the requirements, minimum pickup license, category B, size range is medium A. Therefore, the largest single project should be construction of building with contract cost not less than 50% of the ABC. $39 million. For the bid security form, it can be a BSD or not less than 2% of the ABC if it is in cash, check, bank draft guarantees, or revocable letter of credit, or not less than 5% of the ABC if it is in a surety bond. For the key personnel required for this contract, project manager, DPWH accredited project engineer, construction foreman, safety officer, first aider, and materials engineer, DPWH accredited. For the equipment required for the school truck, major equipment will include backhoe, 1 unit, dump truck, 2 units, plate impactor, 1 unit, one bagger mixer, 1 unit, bar counter, 1 unit, bar bender, 1 unit, 2 units of machine, and 1 unit of cutting outfit and truck mounting crane. Finally, minimum material testing equipment of 1 set. For the bill of quantities, rental basis good for 8 months for the provision of field office for the engineer. Lump sum for the means and clearances, occupancy, occupational safety and health, mobilization and demobilization, and 2 units of project billboard or signals. Under earthworks, removal of obstructions and obstruction, lump sum. Structural excavation, common soil, is 47 meters. For embankment from roadway, structural excavation, common soil, is 44.27 meters. Embankment from borrow, common soil, is 12,627.69 cubic meters and 150 cubic meters of gravel field. For plain and reinforced concrete works, under item 901B, structural concrete 4,000 PSI is 156 cubic meters. For structural concrete class A is 720 cubic meters. Reinforcing steel B-form weight 18,648 logistic kilograms. Formworks and false works is 850 square meters. For CSB non-load bearing, including reinforced concrete steel, is 100 millimeter thick with a quantity of 850 logistic square meters. Lump sum for finishing hardware, 10.50 square meters for aluminum frame, glass door, swing pipe. For sliding pipe is 18 square meters. For awning pipe is 6.12 square meters. And for fixed type aluminum glass windows is 1.94 square meters. 10 sets of frames for jam, seal, head, transoms, and mullions. Wood panel doors of 18.90 square meters and 3 sets of PVC doors and frames. For ceiling, we have a 4.5 mm metal frame fiber cement board, 452 to 70 square meters. For glazed tiles and plates, 135 square meters. For unglazed tiles, 860 to 40 square meters. Cement for finish with for hardener, 1,144 square meters. For cement, plaster finish, 2,640 square meters. For reflective insulation, 1,865.40 square meters. For painting works, for masonry, for concrete, surface is 2,643.50 square meters. For steel surface, painting work is 550 square meters. For fabricated metal roofing accessory, flashing, inch 26 is 8.50 millimeters. For metal roofing accessory, fabricated for gutter is 24 is 50 millimeters. For pre-painted metal sheets, unit type, long span is 3,050 square meters. Lump sum for metal structural accessories for bolts and rods is 250 to 54 kilograms. For sub rods is 255 to 50 kilograms. For steel plate, 957 to 17 kilograms. For structural steel, for trusses, you have 16,348 kilograms. And for purlins, 8,500 kilograms. Under planning and guided works, you have 4 pieces of catch basin made up of CHP. Sewer line works, sewer drains and downspout, septic bowl, tank, of concrete, CSB, plumbing fixtures, wall dwellers are all in a lump sum basis. For electrical, lump sum basis in each of the following items: conduits, boxes and fittings, racking, wires and wiring devices, panel board, main branch breakers, pole mounted distribution, transformer OISC, the complete pole accessories, lighting fixtures. For the last contract ID, 25 the title is construction, multi-purpose building, Poblacion, Agusan del Norte. Then approved by the product contract in the amount of 49,500,000 pesos. The duration for this contract is only 40 calendar days. An applicable bidding fee of 25,000. The source of funds is the 2025 release of the SAR. For the scope of work, is similar with the past four contracts mentioned. So with a similar categories of works. For the pickup license required for this contract is category B with a size range of BQA. So that the single largest project completed should be construction of building with contract cost not less than 50% of the ABC, which is 49,500,000 pesos. For the building security form, C, BST is acceptable. For cash, check, bank draft, guarantee, or revocable letter of credit, the amount should not be less than 2% of the ABC. If it is in a surety bond, the amount should not be less than 5% of the ABC, or equivalent to 2,475,000 pesos. For key person requirement for this contract, exclusively, project manager, accredited DPWH project engineer, construction foreman, safety officer, safety first aider, and DPWH accredited materials engineer. For the minimum major equipment, 1 unit of each of the following: backhoe, plate impactor, 1 bagger mixer, bar cutter, bar bender, cutting outfit, truck mounted crane, and 2 units of each of the following: dump truck and welding machine. Finally, a minimum material testing equipment is required of 1 set. For bill of quantities, 8 months equivalent rental basis for the provision of field office for the engineer. Lump sum for permits and clearances, occupational safety and health, mobilization, and 2 units of project field work site work. Under earthworks, removal of structures and obstruction, lump sum. Structure, excavation, common soil, 47.57 cubic meters. Embankment from roadway, structural excavation, common soil, 65.50 cubic meters. For embankment from borrow, common soil is 12,627.69 cubic meters. And a gravel field of 653 cubic meters. Under plain and reinforced concrete works, IT 901D, structural concrete 4,000 PSI is 185.4 cubic meters. IT 901I, structural concrete plus A is 823.16 cubic meters. Reinforcing steel before 40 is 58,648.60 kilograms. Formworks and postworks is 1,850 square meters. For finishing works, 100 feet CSB non-load bearing, including reinforcing steel, is 1,236.48 square meters. Lump sum for finishing hardware Aluminum frame glass door, swing type is 21 square meters. For sliding type is 54 square meters. For awning type is 24.48 square meters. And for fixed type is 7.76 square meters. For frames used for jam, seal, head, lansoms, and mullions is 25 sets. For doors, wood panel is 18.90 square meters. For PVC doors and frames, 10 sets. And for 4.5 metal frame fiber cement board ceiling is 852.70 square meters. For glazed tiles and trims, 135 square meters. For unglazed tiles, 1,150 square meters. For cement for finish with floor hardener, 1,144 square meters. For cement plaster finish, is 2,164.65 square meters. For effective insulation, 1,865.40 square meters. For painting works, masonry, concrete is 2,648.50 square meters. For painting works, steel, 785.15 square meters. For fabricated metal roofing accessory, used for flushing with gas 26, it should be 135 millimeters. For gutter, gets 24, is used with a quantity of 745 millimeters. For printed metal sheets, is 3,850 square meters. Lamsam for metal structure accessories, 250.54 kilograms for bolts and rods, 255.50 kilograms for sand rods, 127.17 for steel plates. Structural steel used for trusses is 25,960.30 kilograms. Structural steel used for purlins is 8,785.48 kilograms. Under plumbing and sanitary works, for each of catch basin, lump sum for each sewer line works, storm drains and downspout, septic water tank, plumbing fixtures, and cold water lines. Under electrical, you have rough in for conduits, boxes, and fittings, lump sum, wires and wiring devices, lump sum, panel board with main branch breakers, lump sum, full mounted distribution and store IC with complete accessory, bolt type, lump sum, and finally lighting fixtures, lump sum. For the final contract already completed, a two envelope system holds for the first envelope labeled as envelope A, containing the technical requirements to include the legal documents such as business registration, either SEC, DI, or CA, depending on the type of ownership, the use permit, latest income tax return and tax clearance, and the validator of updated with JEPs. Take note that these documents must be valid and updated both in the field JEPs and DPWH at least a week before the scheduled dropping of fees. Included in envelope A are also the updated pickup license of the respective bidder, NFCC, key personal requirements with its documents as attached justification, minimum equipment with attached justification as the type of ownership, list of completed projects including private, and list of all ongoing awarded but not yet started projects including private. Only on the financial envelope, envelope B, should contain video form, the detailed estimates, the cash flow by quarter, and other documentary requirements. For the 5 contracts, the schedule of tracking of bids will be on August 5, 2025. Opening of bids follow immediately after the deadline of the topic. In this case, manual processing of eligibility may apply in the absence of CWB eligibility results due to power interruptions or issues. With this, I rest in peace.
Any clarification, question for this project? If there is none, this private conference is adjourned at 10:30 in the morning. Ginawa natin sila.
Services, we have Monarch ID 55 PSA 0007 0008.
Ang gasolina rin.
For the first contract, 55 PSA 0007, the title is Supply of Diesel and Gasoline Fuel and LPG for use in the operation of heavy equipment, glass cutter, and thermoplastic machine for the repair, maintenance of roads and bridges for the third quarter. An approved budget for the contract is 1,070,514.40 pesos. The duration is 90 calendar days. The delivery period is 90 calendar days. Simple bidding fee is 5,000 pesos. The source of funds is under MOE, which is our 2025-05-016524. For the bid security forum, BSD can be acceptable. Cash check, bank draft, guarantees, revocable letter of credit may be used, but should not be less than 2% of the ADC. For surety fund, the amount should not be less than 5% of the ADC, or equivalent to 53,725.72 pesos. Under this contract, the following items are expected deliverables. Number one is 8,000 liters of diesel. And gasoline is 8,000. LPG of 11 kilograms is 20 tanks, and 50 kilograms is 10. These quantities are indicative of bill or indicative volume. For the second contract, 25 GCD 0008, the title is Supply and Delivery of Thermoplastic Rings and Road Safety Signages along national roads, Agusan del Norte, and an approved but for the contract in the amount of 9,999,935 pesos and 59 centavos. The duration is 120 calendar days. Applicable bidding fee is 10,000. Source of funds is maintenance funds under CY 2025. The same bid security declaration is acceptable as bid security form or an amount of not less than 2% of the ABC if it is in cash, check, bank draft guarantees, or irrevocable letter of credit. If it is HOD fund, the amount should not be less than 5% of the ABC or equivalent to 499,996 equivalent pesos. For the schedule of requirements, the delivery of the following items need to be met. Number one, regulatory signs and MRK-16B, prohibitive or restrictive signs, prohibition of overtaking, sign face, trim and thick aluminum sheet, 900 mm circle. Quantity is 80. For regulatory signs, 600 mm R6-4, miscellaneous signs, loads and dimensions, dimension restriction signs, sign face, 3 mm thick, aluminum sheet, 600 mm circle, 66. And guide information signs, G1-3, advanced direction signs, stock signs, sign face, 3 mm thick, aluminum sheet with 2,050 mm by 1,700 mm of 16 unit. Portland cement is 89 bags. 3 mm diameter GI pipe painted with the national orange 2 posts, 3.5 meters is 80 pieces. 3 mm diameter GI pipe painted with the national orange 2 posts, 3.2 meter is 66. So 3 mm diameter GI pipe painted with the national orange 2 posts, 4.5 meters is 32 pieces. A GI flat bar, 6 mm thick by 32 mm by 750 mm, 160. GI flat bar, 6 mm thick by 32 mm by 500 mm, 132. GI flat bar, 6 mm thick by 40 mm by 1,800 mm, 64. 10 mm diameter by 4.5 inch GI bolt with nut and washer, 712 pieces. 7. 5 mm diameter by 1.5 GI bolt with nuts and washer, 584 sets. Thermoplastic ring wide, 1,043 gallons. Prime white is 36 gallons. Thermoplastic paint yellow is 400, while prime yellow is 160. All 8 letters. The same at 2 envelope system holds technical for envelope A, while financial for the envelope B. Under technical A should contain the following: business registration, previous permit, income tax return, tax clearance, and field checks. Under financial requirements, bid form, detailed estimates, and documentary requirements. The schedule of the applicable bids will be August 5, and opening of bids follows immediately. Available checklist is available in the water office. That will be all for the goods and services. No questions? No questions raised, Mr. Chair? Close the door.